Good evening, everybody. First video of the new year. And I'm actually starting off on a good note, because I actually have a figurine that I managed to win at Arcadia. Just before the new year came about, I managed to win this guy, Crash Bandicoot. Good old series, that. I loved playing that when I was a kid. But of course, you didn't come here to find out about my favourite franchises. No, I wanted to talk more about Sadiq Khan. You know, the failed Muslim mayor of London. And not because he's a Muslim. Because he has now had to cave in. And by that I mean all those ULEZ fines that people have been getting have basically disappeared. It's almost like I was given 3 wishes and one of them was to tell the ULEZ fines to f*** off. And here we go. Isn't it lovely? And even better still, apparently Sadiq Khan is also being taken to court over his unlawful implementation of ULEZ. Or maybe I was right first time. And I better get rid of this bottle. It's really beginning to piss bug. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, Sadiq Khan's been taken to court. I don't know all the details, but he is being taken to court over ULEZ. So it looks like he's not only not got the bottle, but he's not got the brains of how to implement it properly. Which to me is only a good thing. It means traitors like Sadiq Khan are going to be held accountable for their actions. It means people like Sadiq Khan are going to have to play the piper, as it were. Or is it pay the piper? Well, one or the other. Anyway, he will soon pay the price, I reckon. But what I find funny is, and this is also even funnier, as a side note, I actually went on Twitter, yes, that bloody cesspit, yesterday, but it was not for the purpose of getting something political to rant about. It was personal stuff I need to deal with regarding one of the video games I play. But that's not why you called. One thing I do find funny is there are some Muppets out there who are trying to basically portray the Blade Runners as the criminals in all this, and trying to compare them to Just Stop Oil. I know. I'm thinking exactly what you're thinking. How the f*** can you even remotely compare the two? Now, some will say, well, the Blade Runners commit criminal damage. But I made a point, I believe, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, that would imply that there was no real justification for doing what they had to do. And I say the Blade Runners were completely justified in what they were doing. They were justified in and of themselves, because of the fact that ULEZ was implemented unlawfully in the first place. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. Yes, you know it's coming. This is never going to get old. Because, say it with me, folks, it doesn't suit the narrative. They will never admit that ULEZ is completely unlawful, unjust, and it is akin to the Sheriff of Nottingham robbing the poor to take for himself. Only the Sheriff, obviously, is Sadiq Khan and the TFL. So I leave it to you as to whether or not you think Sadiq Khan should pay in court and reimburse the poor with all the money he stole from them. Maybe there should be a Robin Hood of today's era. And I'm not talking about that woke bollocks that they tried to push out with fucking Robin Hood in the ghetto and all these furries and all that shit. And let me be clear, I'm not trying to slander any furries. Like, you do you. If that's your kink, that's you. But we want a real Robin Hood. Not this woke crap that keeps getting pushed out. But back on topic. There are politicians on Twitter right now who are basically trying to say that Just Stop Oil are justified because they are doing civil disobedience versus criminal damage. No, of course that's not the case. Last time I checked, and this is just off the top of my head, I believe that them and Extinction Rebellion, didn't they smash a Barclays Bank window by chance? What would you call that? I'd call that criminal damage. What about the fact that they were sticking themselves onto police vans as well as on the floor? You could technically say that them sticking their hands on one of those police vans is also contributing to criminal damage. And this is before we get to the really piss-easy stuff. And by that I mean, what about the government buildings and the shops like Mayfair that were plastered with orange, ironically oil-based paint? What would you call that? Decoration? No, it's criminal damage. So do not even fucking try to associate Just Stop Oil with civil disobedience. Because this is not civil disobedience, this is civil unrest, bluntly speaking. Or at least they're causing it. I would go as far as saying, as I said before, that Just Stop Oil are just terrorists. That's what it is. It's domestic terrorism. As I said before, may not be running around with a fucking AK-47 or going around with a fuck-off great big butcher's knife going around and fucking stabbing people, or even driving their fucking 4x4s into people or buildings. But it doesn't change the fact they're causing mass disruption, even if only in London. They are technically causing significant disruption. And then they cry when they get arrested like, we've done nothing wrong! No! Like, the criminal damage is just one aspect of it. Let's not also forget the fact they're breaking the Highway Act by blocking the roads. And the only reason you see police actually looking like they're being robust and taking action is because they want to look good for the cameras, because we all know that they don't give two fucking shits about it. They're more interested in pandering or being scared of Islam. Or basically these woke groups that are intolerant of our own Judeo-Christian beliefs. But at least Sadiq Khan might finally have to pay the piper, as it were. Or even play it. I wonder if he's got a flute in his back pocket. Anyway, he will end up having to pay the price for his treachery, his deceit, his theft from the British people. I'm absolutely certain of it. Hopefully, it will lead on to something much bigger. But we'll have to see. And as for those politicians who are trying to justify Just Stop Oil's criminal damage and their breaking of the Highway Act, and then even having the negative IQ to then start trashing the Blade Runners who are doing the public a service, I wonder how long it will take for you to realise just how fucked up you are and how much on the wrong side of history you are. Because when the next bunch of people, the next generation of people, look back on these years that have gone by and they see just what kind of retarded crap you're pushing, they will realise you were on the wrong side of history, and they will treat you with absolute fucking contempt, as they will anyone who even remotely follows them. Because you do not represent our country, you do not stand for our country, you do not respect our country, and you do not tolerate our beliefs. It's ironic how the left preach racism and all that shit. And yet, who are the first ones to be racist against old Whitey? give you 3 guesses. That's all I've got to say on the matter. My name's Dabima, also known as Abatha Rex, and I am, as always, very bad news for our treacherous mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Or maybe I was right first time. And, of course, the lamestream media and all the woke politicians. What a way to start off 2024, though. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. And most importantly, fuck the government!